Hello and welcome to the Flatrock Invitational Bodysurf competition. We're here in Newcastle broadcasting live and we're about to start things off here. Pretty nice conditions today. A few of the boys have already jumped in the water to get the first heat underway. Let's have a look at the action. Some really nice right-handers coming across this teethy rock break, and I'm very excited to see what these boys are going to be pulling off in this first heat this morning. It's 20 to 8 Eastern Standard Time here in New South Wales. As you can see on the screen, a few screamers already coming through. Tide is pretty low, so the boys have to be careful not to get too shredded up on those rocks. But these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. They're here to impress. They're here to get some big scores on the board and hopefully take home a few awards and a bit of glory. My name is Tim Rankin. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Bodysurf podcast. And what a privilege this is to be broadcasting the Flatrock Invitational. Let's have a look who's in the water at the moment. First heat, we've got Matt Jury, also known as Matt Durry. They call him Siggy Butts. We've got the Barrel Pig in there. And we've also got Owen Hancock, who we had a chat to on the podcast yesterday afternoon. An amazing shaper, an amazing rider. So we're expecting a lot from him. They're out there. They're waiting for some waves. A few have come through, but they're just getting into position now. And that's one of the hardest parts about body surfing a comp like this is finding your spot and just parking there and waiting for that perfect wave. Wave selection is a huge part of body surfing, and especially body surfing competition. You want to get maximum points, and the only way you can do that is by picking a perfect wave and then riding it to the best of your ability. I'm very excited about these three surfers that are out there, Matt, Barrel Pig, and Owen. So we've got Matt in red, Barrel Pig is in orange, and then Owen, I think he might be in black. It's going to be very hard to see as we're broadcasting with a 3ccD Panasonic camera from 1987, but hopefully the broadcast quality today is going to be A-OK. In the next heat, my counterpart, the co-host of the Bodysurf podcast, Matthew, the big dog Owie O'Donnell, will be in the water, so it's going to be fun to see what he does. I know he's been itching to get into the water. He's been itching to get an invite to the Flatrock Invitational, and he's finally gotten that invite. He's gotten his golden ticket from Willy Wonka. He's been sleeping in a huge bed with his grandparents for many years, and he's got that golden ticket now, and he's gotten up, and Grandpa Joe is jumping with joy for him, and he's keen to. I think he's keen to win this thing. He's been body surfing a bit lately. He's moved to the Central Coast, so he is familiar with these parts. But you know, Owie, he talks a big game. He can choke under pressure. We've seen it many times at other comps. I think one of the first comps he went in was at Noosa, at the surf festival, where he didn't know he made it through, and he was getting a milkshake, and he had to run into the water quickly to make it into his second heat, and he shat the bed on that one. So hopefully he's a little bit more prepared today. Still no surf action yet. These guys are really picky. They're very selective. But that's what you want to see. Here comes something now. That is big. That's 4 to 5 foot for sure. Bit of water moving around there. Bit of spray back. Bit of froth. Get that into your lungs, people. Now, I'll have to admit I forgot to bring my binoculars, so I'm chilling here with me spectacles and I'm blind as a bat, so I do apologize if I do get some of the surfers' names wrong. It's hard to see who's out there. I can see 3 heads just bobbling around like they're playing a game of water polo out there. But there's no argy-bargy. There's no dicking around. There's no grabbing each other's by the keels, by the budgies, by the dickos, by the smugglers. These guys are playing a fair game, and all they want to do is catch some waves. So let's see who's going to be on a wave very soon. These are a 10-minute or 20-minute heats. It looks like someone's on a wave there. He's getting absolutely swept up in the whitewash. I wonder if the judges like that. I think they want to see a bit more face time. Now, right in front of me, there's an igloo, and it's quite iconic, but it is getting in my way, so I might have to move around and get a better view. Might have to get a bit closer to the action. But I'm quite comfy here. Owie brought me a Coleman deck chair, and I'm sitting back. I'm relaxed, and I'm going to be here all day calling this amazing event. Hopefully we'll get some colour commentaries from some colourful characters soon. But everyone's preparing, and here we go. I think that is Owen Hancock cutting across on that righty. I say it's a righty. Every wave today's a righty. You'd be pretty insane if you go left. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone do it. Now, Owen Hancock, Pipo shaper, makes a few handboards, but today there are no handboards, there are no hand planes. They are just out there with their flippers. This is a very traditional competition. It's been running for many years. And no hand planes are allowed, no handboards are allowed. They're freestyling. They got their flippers. They got their defins, they got their DMCs, they got their hydros. I know Owen's got his ducks. He's a bodyboarder from way back. He said he'll get on anything. You know, he likes a stand-up surfboard, he likes a Pipo, but today he's out there with no hand plane. And that's good gear. That is very good gear. Now, I'm not sure if I'm missing the action, but I don't think Matt Jury or Jacob Rosenbrock have gotten a wave yet. And that's very unusual because Jacob, the barrel pig, he goes all day, every day. He does not stop. But is he just being very, very patient? He wants to make his waves count. They're long heats, so you do get a bit of a chance to catch a few waves. And there are a few coming through. I'm loving the spray off these waves. That would feel real nice against your face. Quite a good beauty routine, I think. A bit of salt water in the face. Gets your skin looking nice and fresh, clears up all the pores. This is the Flatrock Invitational. My name's Tim Rankema from the Bodysurf podcast. Drove down from Sydney last night. Had a lovely night in Newcastle. Stayed at a beautiful hotel. Got room service very late while I was up doing a bit of research, writing some notes, getting some inside information about all these characters that are going to be competing today at the Flatrock Invitational here in Newcastle, New South Wales. It's nice to get out of Sydney, to be honest. Sydney is a bit of a shithole. Bit of hustle bustle, bit of a carry on at times, and you come out to places like this and it's just glorious. It is beautiful, and I got up quite early this morning to come check out the conditions. It was pitch black, but you could see it was going to be a nice day for a surf comp. Some of these waves have great form and some of them are a bit messy, as you can see. There's something big coming through the middle there, but is it just too close to the rocks? Are the surfers sort of distancing themselves from that for their own safety? These guys are really tight. They're right next to each other. There's not much wiggle room there. There's been a few pullouts, so each heat there's only going to be a few surfers in the water. So you're not going to be competing for waves like in other comps when there's 10 blokes trying to catch a wave at once. We might still see some cheeky drop-ins. That normally results in a bit of a disqualification and a bit of a write-off for that wave. I've done it. We've all been accused of it. I dropped in on D. Kelly once and I lost a lot of points for doing that. So you got to be careful. You can't drop in on these waves. But you do want to swim around and get right of way. You want to get as deep into the wave as possible, but still you want a nice takeoff position. Now, I don't know what these boys are doing out there. I think they're talking about what's for lunch, what's for dinner. Oh, yeah. It's up. It's running. Just got some late mail. Matthew Owie O'Donnell in the orange, about to jump in for Heat 2. So Heat 2, we've got Matt Breen in red. We've got Matt O'Donnell, the big dog Owie, in orange. And in purple, we've got Aaron Schmidt. So that's Heat 2. That's coming up real soon. I'm not sure if anyone's caught any waves yet. I think I've seen one or two. Hopefully the judges will let us know how these boys went. But currently in the water, we've got Matt Jury, the Barrel Pig, and Owen Hancock. And I think they're struggling to find a wave. Here we go. Huge takeoff here. Getting a bit of FaceTime. Getting dumped into the fiery pits of Mordor. That whitewash is heavy. There's a lot of water moving around out there. That was exciting. That was good to see. That was a nice size wave as well. Bit of a lull now. It's interesting to see what it looks like in between sets because it almost looks like a lake. It's flat as, but then these screamers come out of nowhere. I can see Owie just in front of the igloo there, about to jump in off the rocks. He's in bright orange, which is great. I'm going to be able to spot him a mile away. I'm not sure what flippers he's got there. I mean, he's got all the gear, no idea. He's got Vipers, he's got Defins, he's got DMCs. Back in the day, he was rocking some life-saving flippers that he used to body surf with. So he's used everything, and I think he's looking for a sponsorship deal. So if any flipper companies are out there and want to sign one of the biggest names in body surfing, he's keen. Mate, he'll go out there with Speedos, with those little swimming training fins. But look how keen he is. He's ready to jump in. Heat 1 hasn't even finished yet, and he's ready to go. Oh, he's jumped in. He's prematurely jumped in and getting ready for Heat 2. He's jumped in off the rocks and he's safely swimming through. Oh, he got snagged there for a second. But he's pushing through with a bit of freestyle. Vigorously swimming while there's not too many waves coming through. But the boys from Heat 1 are still out there. Matt Jury, the Barrel Pig, and Owen Hancock. It's going to be very interesting to see what's on the scorecard for these boys. I'm really enjoying how these three guys are just sticking together. I wonder if anyone's calling each other onto waves or if they're fighting for them. I'm wondering if you might want to start thinking about maybe going something a bit smaller, riding it a bit longer, because these big waves, they're turning into whitewash pretty instantly. Look at that. That's just frothing up. There's a bit of FaceTime on this one, and someone's taken off. Yeah, he's getting a bit of FaceTime there. I'm not sure who that is, but That wasn't a bad ride. Getting stuck in a bit of froth, but getting a little bit of face. Not seeing a lot of tricks, not seeing a lot of spins. And that's a good thing. I think tricks ruin this sport. I think if you're doing tricks, you're dicking around a bit. What are you, a circus clown, mate? No, we're body surfers. We're here to catch some waves. And today, these boys are just getting as much wave time as possible, cutting across, going right, and living the good life. Look at that. That's a messy, frothy wave with a lot of spray back. Conditions here pretty good. Nice temp. I mean, I'm guessing the water temp's a bit cooler, but the sun is out. People are in the swimming pool next to us having a dip, doing some laps. Some of them not even in wetsuits. It's fresh. And they're enjoying every minute of it. There mustn't be much time left of Heat 1. The boys in Heat 2 are getting ready. Oh, he's already out there. And that is all she wrote. That is the end of Heat 1. So that is the first heat. Matt Durry, Barrel Pig, and Owen Hancock. They'll be paddling in soon, safely making their way back to the shore through the rocks as Heat 2 begins. Now in Heat 2, as I mentioned earlier, in red we've got Matt Breen, in orange we've got Owie, and in blue we've got Aaron Schmidt. Heat 2 kicking off very, very shortly. Here we are at the Flatrock Invitational in Newcastle, New South Wales. Brought to you by no one, mate. No sponsorship here. This is just body surfing at its purest. This comp's been running for many years. I first heard about it maybe 4 or 5 years ago when Corey Sainsbury first got invited to have a go here. And I think he did quite well. He really loved the concept of this competition, and he talks about it quite fondly. And unfortunately, he's unable to be here today to compete. So there's a few new names in the comp, a few fresh faces. I mean, one of them is the co-host of the Bodysurf podcast, Owie. This is the first time he's competed in the Flatrock Invitational. And as I said, he's been wanting to do this for a long time. So remember, kids, dreams can come true. Aim for the stars. So I'm guessing Heat 2 is just about to kick off. We've got Matt Breen, who's a local boy done good, and he is a dead set favourite. If I was a betting man, which I am not, I'd be jumping on Sportsbet and maybe putting a bit of money on Matt Breen to take this thing out. And then we've got Matthew, the big dog, Owie O'Donnell. First time in the comp. But he's not a stranger to surfing conditions like this. He loves a unique wave. He loves a reef break. He loves getting in off the rocks. And then we've also got Aaron Schmidt. He's a board rider from Newcastle. Bit of a late entry. But it'll be interesting to see what he does out there. The boys from Heat 2 are just finding their posies now. And I think we'll hear a siren soon to get things underway. I'll tell you what, I'm getting a bit hungry. Haven't had breakfast yet. I've got an esky here full of Red Bull. Anyone that listens to the Bodysurf podcast knows that I love a Red Bull. I had a year off them last year, but I'm back on them this year, and I'm back on them in a big way. Been smashing a few every day. Fucking love Red Bull. And if Red Bull want to sponsor us, they got a bit of cash. They might want to invest into body surfing. And that is the start of Heat 2, so let's see how they go. Matt Breen, local boy, done good, Newcastle and the fave for this competition. We've got Owie out there and also Aaron Schmidt. So Matt Breen's in the red, Owie is in the bright orange, and Aaron is in the blue. I was staying at the QT Newcastle last night. I love the QT. It's a great hotel. There's a few of them going around. There's one in Canberra, one in Sydney. I think there's one in Tasmania now. They're lovely little boutique hotels. And, oh, man, they did late night room service. I was getting a few toasted sandwiches and hot chocolates and pineapple juices, and I was living the life. It's great to come away and just have a bit of a holiday, get away from the hustle and bustle of Sydney, come to Newcastle. It's lovely here. I mean, if I had a bit of cash, I'd be thinking about buying a place here because it is just beautiful and it's going off. I mean, I'm guessing house prices are going way up, but it's got a lovely little nightlife, beautiful culture, beautiful people. Lots of nice restaurants, which is what I'm all about, but most importantly, some pretty good beaches. These boys are spreading out a little bit more than the other heat. I'm thinking we're going to see Owie jump on something pretty soon. He's in the bright orange, so keep an eye out for him. Here we go, huge takeoff. And just getting dumped again into this froth. These surfers might have to head over a bit more to the right to get a bit more face time because where they're sitting is just super, super frothy. And I bet it's very salty out there. But they keep swimming back over to that spot. They must feel safe there. They might want to drop in to that pit of froth to avoid getting smashed by those rocks. Aren't you out there, mate?
Didn't make it.
What happened? Oh, my goodness. All right. Owie's out of the water. He had a bit of a technical issue there. He jumped in and couldn't get out there. It was too big for him. So at the moment out there, it's Matt Breen and Aaron Schmidt. Owie's about to try and swim out again. I wonder if these conditions do get any rougher, if they might think about holding off for a little while. I mean, this is a get in, get out comp. It's a quick competition. We started pretty early this morning. We started a bit before 8 o'clock, 20 to 8. Things kicked off, and we're going to try and wrap things up by at least 1. So it's going to be a a pretty quick one. We're here for a quick, fast body surf comp. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. But I mean, he's not having a good time right now. He had to swim all the way back in and jump in again. He was too eager. He jumped in too early, mate. He was in there while Heat 1 was still taking place, and now he doesn't know what he's doing. He's putting his flippers back on. He's about to jump back in. Time is not on his side. He's lost a lot of time. He's done a big walk around. He's come in to the shore. He's walked all the way around back to the jetty, and now he's about to jump off the rocks again and give it another crack. I mean, I had high hopes for him. I'm a big fan of Owi's body surfing. We've been body surfing together for at least 20 years. He taught me everything I know, and I don't know much. But I want to see him catch a screamer of a wave today. I want to see him get at least one nice big wave, because that's all it takes, really. You just got to get one to get on the scoreboard. A lot of people go out there and just think, hey, if I can catch a bunch of waves, I'll get a few points. But hey, why not just go for one or two absolute pearlers, and then you're in with a real chance of maybe taking this thing out. So this is Heat 2 of the Flatrock Invitational in Newcastle, New South Wales. We've got Matt Breen out there in the red. He's jumping back out there in the orange. And in the blue, Aaron Schmidt. Now, Matt Breen in the red, I want to keep an eye on him because he is the fave. And I mean, I don't want to start anything. I don't want to do the old commentator's curse, but they've been talking up this Matt Breen guy. He's a local boy done good. He's from Newcastle. I'm sure he's competed in this comp many times. I'm sure he's surfed Flatrock many times. But I'm guessing conditions here differ. Not only daily, but by the hour. Up next, we've got Heat 3, and this is exciting. It's the women's heat. They're getting ready to jump in. Oh, here we go. Someone's on a wave, getting sucked into that frothy boy. Getting a little bit of wave time there. Swimming back out pretty quickly. That's the thing as well. You don't want to catch these waves for too long because they will take you right into the rocks, and then you've got to swim back out again. And you're going to be using a lot of your energy to get back out. So a bit of a quickie on the waves, always good. The ladies are lining up for a group photo. We've got Laura Burns. We've got Alana Patterson. We've got Sarah Gray. We've got Hannah FJ, Hannah Finley Jones, and we've got Sally Burns. They're going to be jumping in the water next for Heat 3 here at the Flatrock Invitational. Alrighty. Heat 2 must be getting close to wrapping up. Let's check the weather, eh? It's currently 9 degrees and sunny here in Newcastle. Going to get to a top of 16 today. But that water temp, I'm telling you, that could be in the minuses. It could be very fresh out there. I'm getting very excited for Heat 3. We got to see a lot of these women ride at the Australian Body Surfing Classic, Kiama, last year. And they did extremely well. I mean, one of the ladies that put it all together was Caitlin, and she's no longer in Australia, which is a shame because I'm sure she would have been here today. So a big hello to Caitlin if you are listening. And I sent you an email, mate, so if you can get back to me soon. We got to get you on the podcast. Caitlin, an absolute innovator of women body surfing and in just body surfing in general. You know, she got signed by War Hand Planes after her first comp. And here we go, huge takeoff there. Still going, getting in that froth, still riding that wave, taking it in a bit too far in my opinion. But they're probably thinking that their heat's almost up, so why not? And Owie has absolutely shat the bed. He's come back for a second time. I don't know what's going on with Owie, but I think he's got to jump on the mic and explain himself. Mate, Heat 2's still happening. And Owie's given up. Owie, how are you doing, mate?
I'm tired. I am tired. I will say it's a tough swim. Like watching the next heat go out now, they're in the same position I was in. Yeah, listen to me. It's not for the faint-hearted out there. It's big. But I got skuxed. They still use that phrase these days? Skuxed. I was in a heat with two of the local guys who surf this all the time. They went off the back and they go, probably not for you, champ. Bit sketchy, but they were out there in a second. I should have just followed them. You know, it's a bad move on my part, but I tried twice through the keyhole and just got pushed straight into shore.
Did you catch a wave?
No wave caught. 0 waves caught in this heat.
Now, I will admit, mate, you were out there with Matt Breen, the favourite, local boy, and also Aaron Schmidt, who's a well-known board rider. And they're still out there. They're catching waves. Look at this. Huge takeoff to the right, getting absolutely pitted in that froth.
You know, it's upsetting to me because it's you don't get the opportunity to surf these waves just with one or two other riders every day, you know. But hey, big takeoff there. Right-hander, pulls into the barrel, swallowed by the whitewash. I think the female heat's up next to me. And
Yep.
yeah, they're struggling to get out as well, so I don't feel too embarrassed. Three of them have got out though, so you know it is tough conditions out there, Timmy. But I think in the next heat I might try and rock off from behind the wave and see how that goes.
Do you know what we'll do, Owie? The next heat you've got, and that's the great thing about this comp, you got a second chance. I'll put a Fitbit on you.
Yep.
And we'll see how many Ks you swim out there, and what your heart rate's at and all that sort of stuff. We'll get some state of the art data from you.
Yeah.
During your next heat, but that was fun to watch. I thought, you know, Owie in the bright orange, I'm gonna be able to keep my eyes on him, and I did not see a thing.
No, that's right. And I'm not too proud to say that. No, you know what? There's no excuses to me. I'm not a strong enough swimmer today. It's going to favour those that are ocean dwellers, and I would just say, lately I've become a bit of a couch dweller. I was in the office this week at work, Timmy. The first time I've been in the office in 3.5 years. Maybe that's done me in.
Yeah, mate. The old Michael Scott just sitting there, feet up, drinking coffees all day. You've got to come over to my place, Lane Cove. I've got the 25-metre training pool. I'm in there every day doing laps.
Yep. That's fair, and that's fair to me. That's though those sort of setups they're built for your elite champions of the sport. and I would classify you as an elite champion of the sport.
That's it. Like I'm here as an expert commentator, but I got this job because of my insight of the sport and how long I've been doing it. I reckon, we've been body surfing 20 years, hey?
Are you counting today?
Today was more of just a dip for you, but we've been body surfing a long time. We know what we're doing, but we still kook it every now and again. And today was very fun to watch. I started the broadcast. I started your heat by mentioning when you went to the Noosa Surf Festival, and you absolutely stuffed things up there.
Oh, mate, I one with MC, a solo surf, some would say.
With Mark Cunningham.
With Mark Cunningham.
Noose, and didn't you didn't know that you made it through, and you went and got a milkshake, and then
I'm in.
You had to run into the water again. And
I'm in the final.
But that's the great thing about today. You got a second chance. So let's rig you up with the Fitbit. Let's get some data off you, because if you're saying it's as hard as it is, I reckon you're gonna be swimming a couple of Ks just against this surf.
Oh well, mate. I'm feeling it now. Like the lungs are full of froth. But no, I just absolutely kook that, and I'll completely own that. That's that one's on me. I've never been forced in from a surf before. That's a first for me. I've surfed a lot of gnarly spots, and this isn't for the faint of heart. I'm kicking myself because I really want to be out there.
Well, when I think about Owie, I think about Cape, Solander, I think about Fiji, I think about Voodoo, I think about Point, I think about Shark Island. These are all your favourite places to surf. Is this your first time surfing Flatrock?
No, second time surfing Flatrock. First at this sort of size, and it's not an easy swim out in the best of times. But no, I've really stuffed this one, Timmy. Well, heat one's down, but it's all right. There's another heat to go.
That's it.
I can bring I can pump my pride back up if I get out in the second heat.
And if there's anything I know about body surfing, we love a redemption story.
Oh, that's it, mate.
So you can definitely make your way back into the water for your second heat and try and get some points on the board.
I even changed fins, Timmy. I thought the fin change might help me, but no, it wasn't to be.
So what did you start with?
I started with the long boys. They were just too soft. I got the medium flex, the soft flex, I think, for the long blades, and it was the first time I'd used them, but I just wasn't getting any propulsion. I just needed that short, sharp kick that the short blade yuccas can provide. But by the time I went out the second time, I was too stuffed, and I got pushed wide again, and I wasn't fighting that battle two times in a row. So Timmy, we'll rest up. We'll have a banana. Watch the rest of the heats, and I might try and see if I can sneak my way off the back rock shelf for heat 2.
Well, there's some icy cold Red Bulls there if you need it, but a banana's probably...
Absolutely not.
A banana's probably a better source of energy for you in this stage. By the way, is this a sponsored event? Because I went to do a live read, and I'm like, no, I think this is just Ridgy-Didge body surfing.
I'm pretty sure that it's a lightly sponsored event. It's like, everyone who's involved just doesn't want to be doesn't really want to be known that they're sponsoring an event, which is what body surfing's about. You just need to lay a low profile. Well,
there we go. The Flatrock Invitational brought to you by Salt Water, and there's a lot of it out there. Is it salty out there, Owie? It's very salty. Yeah, here we go. This is heat 3. This is the ladies, and someone's just pulled into a nice face, getting absolutely barreled into that froth, and right behind it, another frothy set. A lot of water moving around out there. I tell you what, as much as I love body surfing, I am really very much enjoying sitting back in this Coleman armchair calling this event, because I don't think I would like to be out there. As much as I say I'm a competent swimmer, I think I would probably be struggling worse off than Oe. So, mate, I'm very comfortable right here. I've got a few. I've got a donut. I've got some Red Bulls. I think a sausage Sanger's going to be coming my way soon. And we're into Heat 3. We're getting through this day very nicely. So Heat 3, we've got Laura Burns in the red. In the orange, we've got Alana Patterson. In the black, we've got Sarah Graham. And in the blue, Hannah Finley. And in the green, Sally Burns. Now, those colours are a bit all over the place. As I mentioned earlier, I did not bring my binoculars. I'm wearing me specs. I'm blind as a bat. I do apologise. I hope you can see a bit of vision that we're broadcasting live to you via YouTube on the Bodysurf Podcast YouTube page. We're also recording this audio, so if you want to listen back to it later, you can listen to this silky smooth AM broadcast. By the way, Newcastle, rich history of AM radio. I drove past 2HD, one of the best radio stations going around. I also drove past the ABC and was listening to it this morning when I was driving in, playing some great country music. Love a bit of AM radio. That's why we do this. That's why we do the Bodysurf Podcast. We grew up listening to AM radio. We listened to the Continuous Call team. We listened to John Laws. We listened to Bob Rogers. We listened to Graham Gilbert. We listened to all the greats. And all we ever wanted to do was be on the radio. And now you can just buy a microphone and do whatever you want. So that's why we're broadcasting here today in Newcastle at the Flatrock Invitational. Dream come true for me, to be honest. My mentor, Belly Slater, I hope I'm doing you proud, mate. I hope you're listening. I believe he's in the Gold Coast. Whenever he's not working, he takes the family to the Gold Coast. He absolutely loves it out there. And we are in the midst of Heat 3. This is the women's heat. And I'll tell you what, they've found their way out there a lot easier than what Oe did. And these ladies are going to catch some humongous waves. I can feel it in my bones. There was a few late dropouts, as there always are at Bodysurf competitions, and there were some phone calls being made this morning. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone made it, so the heats are looking pretty small. But this heat's got a couple of people in it, so that's good. They might be fighting for waves out there. So as I mentioned before, we met a lot of these women back at the Australian Bodysurf Classic in 2023 in Kiama. And they did so well. First time in the comp. The Australian Bodysurf Classic is a team comp, so they all pulled together. They all did extremely well. I think they were on the podium, if not very close to a podium finish. And most of them that represented the ladies at the Australian Bodysurfing Classic are out there today. We've got Alana Patterson from the ladies. Got Laura Burns from Merriweather, I believe. And in the yellow, Hannah Finley-Jones, a local clubby and a board rider. And in the blue, Sally Burns. Rides at Nobby's a bit, rides at Merriweather a bit. And Sarah Gray, also a local surf clubby. So a lot of local Newcastle women out in this heat. As I mentioned, Caitlin, who was the team captain of the ladies at the Australian Body Surf Classic, has moved out of Australia, doing a thing, graduated uni recently. And we'll be in touch with her soon on the Body Surf podcast, and we're putting together a bit of an interview for a new Body Surf magazine that's going to be coming out, which I'll be writing a few articles for. So I'll be chatting with Dylan Kelly and Caitlin, I think in the first issue of that Body Surf magazine that's going to be coming out soon. So that's exciting. Mate, this sport is taking off. I used to call it an emerging sport, but it is no longer emerging. It's established. This thing's getting to the Olympics in Brisbane, I reckon. Body surfing is well and truly on the map. And it's competitions like this that have put it on the map. I mean, I've been to a lot of body surfing comps where the surf's pretty small. And no one knows what to do. But today it's actually looking a bit too big. And no one knows what to do. So I would not want to be a judge. They've got a very hard job ahead of them. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a score update soon. But we're only in Heat 3. There are 5 heats, so there's 2 more heats to go, and then we do it all again. You get a second chance. A bit of redemption. Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Owi's going to be coming back from the future, learning from the past, or learning from the future to change the past. And hopefully he can put himself in a position to get a few points and to make a name for himself in the history books at the Newcastle Flatrock Invitational. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, by the way? My name is Tim Renkamar. I am the co-host of the Body Surf podcast. And Captain Kookman is about to jump in, make his way past all the rocks and emerge into the water. He's wearing a bright yellowy green rash shirt. He's looking good. He's looking fit. And if there's anyone who's going to be able to handle a wave like this, it's Captain Kookman. It's Dan, the big man, Chevy. I really like how these heats just sort of overlap. People are just jumping in whenever they feel like it. I mean, there's enough room for us all. They are small heats. I mean, back in the day, we were doing heats with, 10 surfers fighting for waves all at the same time. So I think the biggest heat today is 4 or 5 surfers at once. I think there might even be a 2-man heat coming up a bit later on, which will be very exciting. So let's have a look at Heat 4, which is coming up soon. We've got Dan Carr, Captain Kookman Chevy. He's in the green. And then we've got Nathan Gallagher. I think we've also got Jay Rossetti. Heard some big things about this Jay fella. Now, there's two people jumping in the water right now. One of them's Captain Kookman. I'm not sure who the other person is, but they're wearing the exact same colours. So that's going to be very fun to try and call. And they're both swimming out safely. They're timing these swim outs really well. It can be very dangerous out there. I mean, the first time I surfed a rocky reef break, I jumped in and absolutely tore my guts apart. And the worst part was I was going on a carnival cruise the next day, so I had this huge infected tummy, and I was sitting in the spa just in chlorinated water, making it worse. But mate, you got to live that carnival life. You got to live that cruise ship life. A cruise ship is just an RSL on water, and if you're not about that, I'm not about you, because it's a lot of fun. And you can actually go to a few places on these cruises and find a wave. They'll take you out on a day trip. I was surfing kind of in Polynesia and just catching some shories. I took me flippers, packed them. You might hear that in the effects mic. The wind is really picking up now. And I think we're about to kick things off with Heat 4 here at the Flatrock Invitational Bodysurf competition. Captain Kookman's out there, and I'm expecting big things from him. He talks a big game. He's the Womp Camp Helpline Administrator. You call him up. He'll look after you if you're interested in going to Womp Camp at Seal Rocks. But today, all he's thinking about is catching some fucking huge waves. So if my intel is correct, we've got Jay Rossetti, Dan Carr, Captain Kookman, and Nathan Gallagher out here for Heat 4. A little bit of a lull here, which is unusual because it's been quite consistent all morning. See, that wave coming through now, that's the sort of thing I would be thinking about catching. Bit more of a face on it, not too washy. But these boys want the glory. They want the big ones. Now, these boys are a little bit further to the right than the other competitors. So I wonder if we're going to see something a bit different. I mean, we've seen a bit of FaceTime, but it turns quickly into whitewash. And we all know that riding the whitewash doesn't score that well. So apparently we're still in heat 3 with the ladies.
No, I think they got a 4 now. I think all the ladies have swum in.
Oh, no, the ladies have swum in and the heat 4 has started. So we've got Dan Carr, Chevy, the Kookaman out there. He's in bright green. we've got Jay Rossetti in the orange. And then in the blue is Nathan Gallagher. These are local boys. I think they do a bit of stand-up surfing in their spare time. I wonder if many people stand-up surf out at Flatrock. I mean, this wave is made for anything. I'm sure if Robbie Miller was here, he'd be out on a boog having a crack. The juxtaposition of the swimming pool next to this messy wave is quite interesting because it's glassy. And we were talking on the podcast yesterday with Owen Hancock about maybe one day setting up a winch and trying to body surf by getting towed behind a winch. And this swimming pool is glassy as, so I mean, this is the place we could do a bit of winch riding. I know the Bait Bay Body Bashers from Cronulla once did a bit of body surfing behind a tinny, behind a 25 horsepower 4-stroke. But you just end up drowning in that water, getting towed behind a boat. You need the power of a big wave to get going. And that's what we got today. Some big waves out there. A lot of water moving around. Here's a screamer. Ho, 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 ho. Get that into your lungs, boys. So this is Heat 4 of the Flatrock Invitational Body Surfing Competition. We got Jay Rossetti, Dan Carr, Captain Kookman, and Nathan Gallagher out there right now. Heat 4 is going off. These boys are sitting out there again, really patiently waiting for something to do something on. It's 8:45 here in Newcastle, New South Wales. Currently around 10 degrees, meant to get up to about 16, 17 degrees Celsius. But I'm telling you what, that water temp, it's icy. I brought my gear, but I don't think I can even be bothered jumping in later. I think I'll be just sitting back having a cool beverage and a hot sausage sandwich with some tomato sauce and a bit of onion. I think I'm due for a bit of a snack break soon. Haven't had breakfast yet. Bought myself a donut from the petrol station on the way here. Got some icy cold cans of Red Bull ready to go. So if anyone wants a drink, come and join us. We're here having a great time at the Flatrock Body Surf Competition Invitational in Newcastle, New South Wales. Bit of a crowd coming around, you know, watching. It's interesting. Sometimes when competitions are on, you get a few people just going out for a swim, but today the water is owned by the competitors. No one's brave enough just to have a little paddle out for fun. The only people brave enough are the people who are wanting to win this competition. And I believe there's a few awards to be given out at the end of the comp. But there is chat amongst the organisers about surf conditions and if we're going to be able to run the comp all the way through. I mean, we're heading up towards Heat 5, which is the last heat of the first rounds of heats. So my co-host, Owie, is just getting a bit of intel now. I mean, I know he's keen to get back out and redeem himself after he had a shocker out there. But the organisers are having a chat, and they might have to finish things up a bit early. By the way, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Tim Renkema. I'm the co-host of the Bodysurf podcast. My counterpart, my partner in crime, my best little body surfing buddy, Owie. He's here. He's got a bit of intel. What's been going on, Owie?
Have you got a sting to say like breaking news?
Kids news with your co-anchor Lisa.
There's been a bit of movement in regards to the comp, Timmy. There's going to be a meeting after this heat. Technically, we're still in the female heat.
What?
There's actually been a couple of rescues.
Oh, geez, the Bondi boys are out here.
Yeah, so they'll, as the horn goes off in the background.
So is that the end of Heat 3?
That's the end of Heat 3. I know you've been doing great commentary, Timmy. I've been watching over there. But technically, no, it's still the female heat. And it is really hard to tell who is out there from our vantage point. Listen, there's some great waves out there, but it's just really quite hard for the competitors to get out to the waves at the moment. And the female heat has just run, and as the next heat was swimming out, Dan, I saw him swimming towards the left, and I go, wow, that's really strange for Dan not to be able to get out. He's quite a strong swimmer. And then I spoke to him on the shore, and he said, no, I just did a rescue. So yeah, he's pulled one of the girls out. She's okay. But yeah, it's the way the swell is pushing the current through. If you get yourself into the wrong position, you get stuck behind a rock ledge, Tim, and that's why I came in so early twice, because it's really the only access point to the beach that you can do before you're in a bit of trouble.
Now, I heard it was because you're an absolute pussy.
Yeah, that too. That too.
I shouldn't talk because I wouldn't be getting out there today.
Well, I mean, there's people that have surfed this comp for years and years and years that aren't going out today, Timmy. So they're going to have a chat after this competitor comes in, just to see who wants to continue the comp. Yeah, they might have to pull the pin on this year, which is it's upsetting. You know, it's such a prestigious comp, and we talk about it on the podcast so much about how good this comp is and how well it's run, but today it's just really tough conditions. You know, there's some gems in the rough, but yeah, it's hard body surfing even for the advanced swimmers.
Well, I mean, if we can just get to Heat 5 of the first round of heats, maybe we can just call it there and then, you know, just judge it based off that. Do we need the second round of heats?
Absolutely, Timmy, because I'm going to try my luck at trying to get out there. I'm on a big fat donut at the moment as we watch Dan Chevy Carr, the Kookman, make his way to the ocean. As
you mentioned donuts, I might have a quick snack break. I'm going to have a donut and a Red Bull. Do you mind taking over commentary for a little bit?
Absolutely, Timmy.
We are going to be running out of power soon, so I need to go find a power bank to try and keep our OB setup alive. But Owie's going to be jumping in as head commentator for the next little while, so I'll throw it over to Owie, co-host of the Bodysurf podcast here at the Flatrock Invitational.
Yeah, it's Big Dog taking over from Timmy. We had a little bit of connection loss there because Timmy took the internet away. But we're back live now. As I said before, really tough conditions out there. Dan Carr obviously didn't take him any time. I can't even see him trying to get out. He's already out the back. It's just him all by his lonesome. He's taking off now onto a very big, large wave. And that is wave of the day. Oh, yes, crunched on the exit section. But there you go. That is, that's the Central Coast's finest right there. And what a wave to start this heat. I think it's just him. I can't see anyone else out there. But, you know, if you're a strong enough swimmer to get out the back, and you can really do some movements. I think I've got that wrong there. You know, I don't think that was Dan at all. I think that was our last female swimmer. Comp is, her heat's finished. But no, that's a really good wave right there. A couple of the local boys just doing the check to see if we should be continuing this competition, but I think they're going to have a meeting very soon. We've got the red flag out. That means the heat is over. Timmy's going to go get some information for us very quickly, but no one in the water as it stands. And you know what? It might not be looking good for the rest of the comp today. It might be a free surf if you want to get out there because there is no one else on the break. But yeah, big, wild, woolly conditions this morning here at Flatrock, the sunny beaches of Newcastle. One of the great spots, actually. Timmy and I were talking about some real estate recently, and you know, it's Newcastle was often seen as kind of the last place on earth you would want to live. But look at it today. Bluebird sky, offshore conditions. Some would say perfect conditions for a competition. But as you can see, the quality, myself included, of swimmers today, a bit lackluster. But saying that, there are some very qualified surfers here today that are not competing because of the challenging conditions. So we'll get that update very soon, but there is no one in the water. It might end up just being a barbecue and a bit of a lunch affair. I haven't seen Chev for a while. I don't know if he's hiding in amongst the rocks there or he's tried a little paddle out, but I cannot locate the man. Maybe he's doing some laps. Really good effort from Timmy today to provide the setup. And hopefully this is one of many to come as the Dolphin makes its way through the set out there at Flatrock. A lot of ocean life here today. I've seen a seal or two floating around as well. But no, there's no human beings in the ocean at this point. Yeah, Timmy has brought the setup big time. So we've got the roadcaster, trusty, faithful roadcaster, the Panasonic DV Digicam from 2004, providing you with all of the action this morning. And also your the little power bank. Timmy's purchased a power bank, and what are we down to? 23%, Timmy. Well, that's okay, you know. It's got a couple of hours in it. It's got a bit of juice. Is it going to be powering the whole day? No, probably not. But we have a backup. If the comp decides to run, we do have a backup power bank in the back of Chevy's car, just by chance. So if we need to throw the power cords over, we've got them. Now, iconic scenes here as the pump house, just out of shot. If you're viewing now, it's in the right hand of the screen. The iconic pump house, the backdrop to this wonderful competition. The 2022 Flatrock Invitational I was a part of. I could actually get out that day. Didn't go too well, but I did surf. It's got one of the best artworks for a body surfing competition I've ever seen. If you, I don't know where you can access that photo. It might be on the Newcastle Bodysurfers Instagram page. I was wearing the shirt this morning. It's, if you've seen the creature from the Black Lagoon standing with fins, holding fins in front of the pump house, iconic shot. And if that's not what body surfing is all about, then I'm yet to see it. You know, we've got the red flag up still. I think there's probably discussions over there. We are a bit away from where the judging panel is, just because this is the best sort of spot to get a view of the action. But you know, I would hazard a guess that they're probably not going to continue this comp today. We've got top of 16 today. Feels like 10 degrees at the moment. Bit chilly, you know, but nice sunny conditions. We should see these sort of conditions hang around all day. Maybe the swell's dropping off. Could you run it this afternoon? Possibly, but you know, it's like people have got families. You got to get home. Hey, it's Sunday. Work tomorrow. Yep. There's a surfer going out now. I would hazard a guess that they've canned this. I would have to say they've probably canned this comp, Timmy. The battery's about to go, so we might be packing it down. Yeah, they're just having a chat now. Timo, I'm not sure if you want to run over and get an intel, or you just we're calling it.
Oh, mate, we need to get some inside information. So I'll run over. I'll jump into the footy sheds. I'll get some inside information from the organisers. See what we're doing. It's a shame because we're so close to Heat 5, and if we could get to Heat 5, we could technically award a winner. We could give out some prizes because everyone's had a surf.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I guess some people technically haven't had a surf. But, yeah, it looks like they're going to be making a very hard decision soon. So I'll head over while you continue to call whatever is happening out there. And then if it is wrapping up, we'll wrap up the day here. If not, we'll get a power bank and we'll go for round 2.
Yeah, I'm just panning back the camera now, so you might be able to get a good view of sort of where we're sitting. You can see the pump house down there in the right-hand corner of your screen. Just behind the pump house, that's kind of where the action sort of is. I know the camera today has mostly been on the left-hand side of the screen,